This is Dennis McMahon, and welcome to Positively Vermont. And today we are going to explore the Stowe Tango Music Festival coming up in Stowe, Vermont on August 17th, running through August 20th. And we are very pleased today to have with us some very talented musicians who you're going to hear on this program and also learn about tango music. And my special guests here are Jisoo Oak, the Executive Director of the Stowe Tango Music Festival, and Hector Del Curto, the Artistic Director and Bandoneonist for the group. And we're going to be learning a lot about Argentine music, tango music, and this wonderful world that is coming right here to Vermont in just a few days. Now, would you just tell us, Jisoo, a little about yourself?
Well, I'm a cellist, and I got into tango because I started dancing tango a little bit, and I fell in love with the music. So I tried to pursue playing tango music in New York City, and I met Hector. So that's how I got into it.
And then she fell in love with me.
Okay. And Hector, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm coming from many generations, 4 generations of bandoneon players. And I started playing bandoneon because that was what I saw since I was a kid. And I never intended to become a professional musician. But throughout my career, I started to perform in public, and then I joined an orchestra that was the orchestra of Osvaldo Pugliese. And from there on, I got all the way to Stowe.
Great. Well, tell us a little bit about tango music itself. What its components and what, how did it develop, particularly in this country?
Well, tango music is originated in the Rio de la Plata, and between Uruguay and Argentina, Montevideo and Buenos Aires, with the immigration that came from all over Europe, and it was a way of socializing between the people that lived in this big house, and they didn't speak the same language, and they shared the house and lived in different rooms. But they have one thing in common, which was their instruments and their music. So the music from different countries was the one that blended into what we know today as tango. And how it got here, how we are here in Stowe.
Tell us about that. How did the music festival start?
Well, the music festival started because people love to dance tango all over the world. So there was a revival of tango, and people started to dance in every corner of the world. And one day we said we have the Argentine Tango Societies in Stowe, where they had classes for people to learn to tango. And one day we were having a coffee with the chairman of the Argentine Tango Society, and we said, well, let's make Stowe the capital of tango. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, if that's what you want to do, I would love to do it. So we started that way in 2014. You will see probably some of the t-shirts that you will see later have the logo with the 2014. That was our first year. And we started small. And now we are in 2017, and we have people from all over the world joining us, musicians, dancers, audience that join from all different places in the world. That's
great. And tell us exactly, this Argentine Tango Society, where did that come from? That was in Stowe before the festival was started?
Yes, that's the chairman loves tango and was a tango dancer for a long time, and since the 90s, and that's how we got to do this.
Amazing. Now, what about the particular instruments that are associated with tango? Tell us about what they are. We heard about the cello, and tell us about how all these instruments fit together.
Well, for the strings and it's violins, violas, cellos, and bass, and then we have piano, and we have another instrument which is called the bandoneon.
Tell us about that.
And the bandoneon is an instrument that was born in Germany in the end of 1800s. And it didn't work very well in Europe. People didn't want to play it that much, so somehow it got all the way to Argentina, and many people say it was an Italian guy. And they brought the instrument to Argentina, and we adopted the instrument very slowly into tango, which at that time it didn't have bandoneon. It was only flute, violin, guitar. And when bandoneon made it, it has a very unique voice, and it became the voice of tango.
And we're going to hear some of that later on. Now tell us about the festival. It's going to start on August 17th. What is going to be happening there?
Well, the festival has started already. And what we brought today are the people that join us for the Bandoneon intensive workshop, which they can, you can tell by their faces now, is very intensive. And the Bandoneon intensive workshop is only for bandoneon players, and we coach them into playing tango. Many of them already play tango, and they are great musicians. And then we have the second week, we bring the strings and we bring the piano, and those are mainly classical musicians. And some of them also had experience with tango, but most of them are classical. And they join together. We bring the maestros from Argentina. This year we will be joined by one of the pianists of the most famous orchestras in Argentina, which was Aníbal Troilo. So the pianist that is joining us, his name is Jose Colangelo. And we also have Pablo Agri, who is a very well-known violin player in Argentina. And we join everybody together, and we have this amazing orchestra, which we already have a CD out, and I don't think we brought the CD, but it's called Live at the Stowe Tango Music Festival, live at the 2016 Stowe Tango Music Festival.
That's great. So actually, there's a run-up to this. You're preparing for this when it opens for the public.
Exactly.
That's great. And what's going to happen when it opens to the public? Tell us, because people are going to be watching this, and tell us what's going to be happening.
So we have variety of events. We open the festival on Thursday, 7:30 for the public. The event is called Tango Jam, and it's at Town and Country Resort. And that is exactly what the title says. We are going to be jamming, and some of the local musicians also join us, and dancers will be dancing. So it will be a fun event to come and enjoy, and it's free.
That's great.
Yeah. And we also have other events, like on Saturday, we have event called Tango Trail. And in that, we have kids tango class. That's new this year. So that's at 1 p.m. And we also have milongas, that's tango dance parties.
Tell us what a milonga is.
Well, why don't you take it since?
Milonga is where milonga is a rhythm that we have in tango. We have the waltz, we have the tango, and we have the milonga. But we also have, the milonga is the place where people gather to dance socially. And the name comes from the milongueros. Milongueros are the people who dance milonga. So it's a fun event, it's a social dance. You need to know some steps. So the best thing that you can do is go and take some of the classes, and then you join the milonga and have a lot of fun.
That's great. Great. Tell us, continue, what else is going to be happening?
Well, our big event is in Spruce Peak this year, and it's on Saturday, 8 p.m. And that will be our concert with all the guest artists and all the dancers we'll have on stage, and also the orchestra.
Tell us about the orchestra. 25 people?
It's about 25 people. And we have, as I said before, we'll have 8 bandoneon or 9 bandoneon players. We'll have piano. We have how many violins?
Like 8.
8 violins, and then we have viola, then we have cellos, and it's
and they come from all over the world. We have musicians from Finland. We have musicians from Japan,
from Italy. Last year we had people from Germany. And this concert at Spruce Peak is the result of the work that we have done with the musicians, and it's a way for us to be able to share with the audience what we have worked so intensively for these 2 weeks.
That's great. Now, how many people appeared last year at this, for the whole festival? Do you have any idea?
Well, attendees, we're, I think, around 1,000 to 1,500.
2,500. That's amazing.
And yeah, because we have many different events.
Right.
And this year we are expecting a little bit more.
That's great.
Yeah, because it's been growing since the first year.
And there's a website and it has all the information and registration. There are certain free events, but there are certain workshops that people have to register for and things like that.
Exactly, yes.
And let's say someone doesn't wants to try to learn these instruments. Are there any courses where they can take it at the festival, or maybe they'll meet people who can teach them?
Well, if you are new, the best program that we can offer is to audit. We have an auditor program.
Mm-hmm.
So that you don't need to be a musician to audit. So you can come and see all the rehearsals and all the behind the scene things, and yeah, you get to learn a lot about tango music that way.
That's great.
But also, if you want to learn how to dance tango, we have the festival Milonga on Friday. That before the Milonga, we have a dance class. And also, if you have kids, you can come with your kids and dance with your kids. There is an event on Saturday morning at the Stowe Community Church.
So it's at different locations throughout Stowe.
Yeah,
It's not just
so
at one place.
Best thing will be to check out our website, stowetango.org.
I'm looking at this, and it's rather huge and also a very varied and extensive program. I'm just curious about this Tango Takes Stowe. What's that about? What is that festival called?
Well, that is 3 small milongas. So milonga is dance party. So we will have dancers in bars and coffee shop. And we'll have tango music. So I mean, it's completely integrating the community with dancing tango. So that's the idea.
Oh, that's great. So it's many different locations throughout.
Exactly.
We have one of our main goals. The main goal of all is to transmit. You said, as you can tell from my accent, I'm from New York, and we want to give our experience with tango to other musicians, but also we want to integrate the community. And in that sense, this year we are partners with the Vermont Symphony, and I did a tour with them of 7 concerts all around Vermont, and they are going to be joining us, and we also want to integrate the people from the community. That's why we have Tango Takes Stowe, and we invite everybody to join us. People will be wearing tango hats, people will be dancing all over the place, and that's the idea.
That's great. And what happens after the festival? Is there any kind of follow-up that goes on?
We take a vacation. No, we have some of the musicians join us when we travel, and they will come and join us in different performances. And also the people who started to dance, they might keep taking classes, and people who were dancing before, they might join us next year as well.
That's great. So it just continues. It's really a premier event that sort of goes on all year. And who's the youngest person you had? I'm curious. You're done. The youngest, you have a tango for kids and a musician for kids, and so it's all ages, I guess.
We have all ages for dancing. For musicians, we limit to 18 years old because they have to stay for the workshops, and so. But for everybody else, any age.
That's great. And this is going to be officially open August 17th to August 20 in Stowe, Vermont. And there's a very excellent website and explains all the details and how people can participate, and events that are open to the public, and others that require some pre-registration and things like that. And but I think it's great. Now we have all the details. I like to turn it over to Hector and Jisoo, and we can maybe hear some of the people that you'll have an opportunity not only to hear, but meet at the Stowe Tango Music Festival. I want to thank you all for joining us on Positively Vermont. This is Dennis McMahon. I'm going to turn it over now to the experts.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Denise. So this is the Stowe Tango Music Festival Bandoneon Camp, and I would like to introduce Alex from San Francisco, Yukie from Japan, Ben from Seattle, and Adele from LA, Erskine from New Mexico, and we have Eric. Eric is from Boston, Janeen from Seattle, Mimi from Seattle, Marcellin from Montreal, and we have Santiago Del Curto from New York, and Jisoo on cello from New York as well. So this is going to be Toda Mi Vida, is a traditional tango by Aníbal Troilo. One, two, three.